everyone, your friendly neighborhood nightmare here. Once again bringing you a video from the FIA race from Dragon Trail Gardens. This was a Group 4 race. Supposedly, according to the list, it was supposed to be a BMW M4 only race, but for some reason Polyphony left the RCF available, so there were several people using that. This race is, I run this under my alternate account called Quicksand Jesus, and before anybody gets upset, it's just a song title, relax. Anyway, as you can see, these got some very, very good drivers in this race. This race was worth 183 points for a win, and I am rated a BS. Granted, it's relatively high B, 26,000, something like that. But I could not quite figure out why I had gotten put into this kind of lobby. And any other time that I've been in this kind of lobby, I've gotten myself up to A rating a few times, and every time I wind up in this kind of lobby, I just get my lunch handed to me. Just make a fool out of myself. And so, going in, I was pretty nervous when I realized what kind of lobby I was in. And, yeah, so the best I could do is, there's my teammate Bagger J, by the way. Yeah, the best I could do was just hopefully hold on to what I had. I'm starting like 15th, and I was just hoping that I didn't make a fool out of myself. I mean, that's basically all it was. I figured if I could stay in the top 10, I'd be happy with that. But yeah, I mean, it's more of a mental thing than anything else. So I'd wind up making really stupid mistakes where just, you know, spinning the car out, pushing too hard to try and stay up with these guys. So I got to the point where I didn't really think I could drive with these guys. But we're gonna find out here, I guess. As you can see right off the bat, I over-revved the engine just a little bit, so didn't shift when I should have. But right here I had to check up really hard. I've tried to race with as much respect as I possibly could give these guys, because as far as I was concerned at this point, I didn't really belong there. I'm driving through all this carnage, I'm getting bumped around, you know, I'm kind of used to that. I knew eventually it would sort itself out and we'd be okay. So at this point, I've gained a couple spots. I'm like, alright, yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I haven't looped it yet, haven't done anything really stupid. Got a couple guys just deciding to go off picking daisies over there. Guy up here, he just got turned into the wall. So I'm making places without really even trying to at this point. So at this point, I told my teammate who was in the party chat with me, I said, look, man, I said, you're not going to believe where I'm at right now. He was only a couple spots behind me, so he could actually see me. I hadn't looked at the scoring list. But, you know, I'm still hanging with these guys. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I think it helped a lot that we run a spec series as a team that we modeled after the old IROC racing series, where all the cars were the same, and it just came down to who could drive and who couldn't. And this was the first car that we did it with. We had also, a bunch of us had decided to, at one point a couple seasons ago, a bunch of us decided to go with BMW, and so I was really, really used to driving the M4. I really like the car. I know it's not spectacular in any given place, but it holds its own pretty much everywhere. Right there, I got into that guy. That was completely unintentional, and I'm really, really surprised that I didn't get hit with a penalty there. But yeah, so I mean, we got guys getting penalties. I've moved up to, well, gonna be 7th place here, 6th place. Trying to stay within myself. I know that was a bit of an aggressive move, but yeah, I get the flashing light from the guy behind me. Fair enough, I understand that. I pretty much deserve that. Because yeah, that was quite an aggressive move. But I find myself just stunned and saying, how in the heck did I wind up hanging, you know, regardless of the penalties, regardless of the guys making mistakes, I always wind up getting my lunch handed to me in these kind of lobbies. This was a bunch of A plus drivers, and I'm just not used to running there. So yeah, for the next, you know, I'm just trying to settle in, not make any mistakes, hit my braking points. I'm still kind of inconsistent with that. I'll hit them one time, and then the next time I'll miss them by 20 meters or so and just kind of throw myself off. But I was trying to make sure that I hit my points. It was, I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. My heart was beating. I was just, it was pure adrenaline running with these guys because I know how good they are, how fast they are. And I'm up here running, you know, as a BS driver. And I'm actually keeping up. Well, I mean, the guy in fifth is pulling away from me, but you know what I mean. I mean, I'm not making mistakes. I'm not falling back to the guys behind me. I'm not looping the car and just losing a bunch of spots. I'm just kind of hanging out here in sixth place and just like having flashbacks of times that I have made a mess of things. So I'm just trying to settle in. It takes me a few laps to really settle into the fact that I'm running with these guys, and I'm doing pretty well at it. It just, believe me, it was stressful. This corner here, I can never quite figure out which line is going to be the fastest for me to take. I've tried cutting it off like I did there. I've tried swinging out wide and getting the fast exit on it, but it's just one of those corners that's really difficult to figure out where the proper line would be, because so many different people have a different line going through there. I mean, you'll see guys like Super GT, Basic Ollie, Tidney. It seems like all of them take kind of a different line through that section, so it's difficult for somebody like me to actually choose which line to use, because all of them are kind of right. I mean, they all work for the individual drivers, so it's one of those things where you just can't quite, as a driver rated like I am, you can't quite make up your mind which one's going to work better until you try them all. And even then, you don't always get it right. So as you can see in the rearview mirror here, the 7th place car is starting to creep up on me, and I'm okay with that. At this point, I've been running 6 for 2 or 3 laps here, and I'm at the point now where if I lose a couple of spots, I'm not going to be brokenhearted about it. I'm really not, because it's not a terrible thing. At this point, I'm looking at the fact that I'll be more than happy if I can finish in the top 10, you know, or you know, at least the top half of the field. So it's not one of those cases where if I have to give up a spot to this guy behind me because I know he's faster than me, I'm not going to get all brokenhearted about it. It just will not bother me. But on the flip side of that coin, I am not going to just give it up. You know, if I can, I have to at least make him work for it. At some point, if I see just that he's just a lot faster than me, yeah, I'll give up the spot. But if it's one of those cases where, you know, he's a little bit faster here, but I'm a little bit faster there, then, you know, I'm gonna do everything I can to fight that for that position. I've always told the guys on my team that if it's one thing to catch me, But it's a whole different thing to get past me, because I'm not going to make your life easy to get by. See, right here, he made a really good run out of that corner, and I'd let him go, because I knew he had that big run. I know the level of respect that most of the guys up around here will give you if you show them respect as well. So I know, or at least I hope at this point, that if I try to make a move to get back around him, if I've got a good run on him out of a certain corner or something, that he would show me that same respect. Most of the time I'm running with racers that they'll just beat and bang on you for, you know, just for the sake of doing it. They don't really show you a whole lot of respect when you make a move or just faster than them at certain points. But again, you know, he's got this penalty, so I know if I stay close enough to him, I'm going to get back around him, and at that point, it's back on. If he's faster than me again, I'll let him go. But if he's not consistently faster than me, then, you know, if there's certain spots where I can get away from him, well, then I'm not going to make it easy for him to get by. I can't do that. I'm too competitive for that. Now at this point, he pretty much just stays right on my bumper. And there are certain sections where he's faster. There's certain sections where I just kind of hang out and maintain the lead that I have over him. But there's a couple of sections where he just gets through much, much better than me. So there was a few points where I had thrown my flashers on to let him know that I was going to let him go. But it was every time I did that, he kind of backed off a little bit. And so I just resumed what I was going to do, you know, go in my normal line. Because I didn't want to mess myself up and completely mash up my lines if he wasn't going to make the move. If I had given him the flashers and he had gone to the inside to let me know he was going to go by, then I would have let him. But he didn't do that. He just kind of backed off and kept following me. So I was like, well, you know, what the heck? I'm just going to go back to my line. I wound up talking to the guy after the race, and he had told me that he had some really, really bad luck during the first few races, and I can relate, because the first race I ran under this account, I started 11th and I wound up finishing dead last. I mean, it was just brutal. You know, 6 seconds worth of penalties for stuff that I had nothing to do with. So yeah, it was ugly. So I could totally relate to why he would do that, because he had never raced me before. I had never raced him. We'd never, you know. And so I understand why he was kind of cautious, because he didn't know whether I was going to, you know, give him the flashers to go by and then wind up wrecking him when he tried to do it. That is definitely not my style. If I've given you the flashers to go by, just go ahead, because I'm gonna move over and let you go. See that section right there? I made a mashup of that. He's got some lag going on here, so it was like I wasn't quite sure where he was. And the thing is, right now, I know I'm kind of holding him up a little bit. I see the cars stacking up behind him, but again, it's one of those situations where I don't know. You know, he's not close enough to me for me to just tell him to go by, and he's not aggressive enough to pull in when I do give him the signal. So again, I'm just cruising here in 6th place, trying not to make a hash of things. Trying to stay within the abilities that I have, limited as they may be. I know in some sections I could take a more aggressive line, like through that chicane back there. I could try and cut those curves a little more. But when you get it right, it works pretty good. When you get it wrong, oh man, it's just ugly. It doesn't work at all. So I just, I figured I would go through and avoid them as much as I could. If I stayed close to him, you know, he'd get a little bit of a gain on me coming through because he's cutting them a lot better than I was, but I wasn't gonna, with as many times as I've messed up in this kind of lobby, I wasn't gonna do that here. I was just not taking that chance. See right there, I kind of cut him off, and I did regret that move. I did apologize, but again, I have to give major props to this guy for not. He could have at some points he could have just bumped me out of the way, but he didn't. He kept things absolutely clean, and it was really refreshing. Right here, I know he's faster than me, so I'm gonna wind up letting him go. I'm not gonna fight him anymore. I know there's cars backed up behind him, so I don't want him to lose a bunch. I just got to get to a spot where I'm not gonna throw off my line so severely that I can't get there right. So I pull over here, I give him the flashers, and then as he comes up beside me, I hit the brakes a little early and just let him go. Like I said, I knew he was a lot faster than I was through this particular area. So I'm happy with where, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Like I said, if I could finish in the top 10 in this kind of lobby, I'm a happy camper. I'll take that every day of the week. Because for me right now, at this point in the race, it's just more about proving to myself that I have the ability to run with these guys. I don't care, 183 point lobby may not seem like much to guys who are A-rated and higher, but for a guy like me, that is a really good lobby to be running in. That's some fast guys I'm running against. So that's why it was more about proving to myself that I could run with these guys. I could be consistent through the race. I could get through it without doing something obnoxiously stupid, like cutting a corner really bad, hitting the sausage wrong, wiping out, spinning out, losing 6-8 places. It was much, very amusing for me to just figure out that I could actually run with these guys. Because up until now, it had been just I think it was just a mental block that every time I got into a race with some of these guys, I'd completely derp it. Now, this guy behind me is he got real close a few times here on the final lap, and man, I'm telling you what, it was nerve-wracking. Like I said, I wouldn't have cared too much if I'd have lost another place or two, but I really didn't want to. So it was one of those things where I'm like, look, get off me, stop it. See, he gives me a little tap there. I wasn't going to get mad at him for that because I was in his way. But again, I didn't brake check. I wasn't blocking. I was taking my normal line. I was just taking my line a little slower than he was taking my line. So it wasn't like I was doing anything malicious to block him to maybe make him pick up a penalty or something stupid like that. I just happened to be in the way a little bit. But yeah, here coming up on the finish line, I'm going to wind up in 7th place. I got 137 points for this race, which is more than I have ever gotten for any race. I don't get 137 points in a season normally. So I was very amused with this race. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the commentary. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. Until next time, this is Nightmare. I'll see y'all later.
My blaster says